Hey, how's it going, guys? Matt here with OddsJam. And if everything goes right and the odds don't change on me, I will have 5 NFL player props for you guys for NFL Sunday Week 8. I still just trip over my words saying Week 8. I can't believe we're 8 weeks into the season, but here we are. And here I have 5 player props for the NFL Week 8 betting slate. These are not going to be DFS picks. These are going to be player prop bets on the actual sports books themselves. Of course, some DFS picks will come out later, so make sure to stay tuned on this channel for those. But for this one, the 5 NFL player props I found using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page. Using OddsJam is awesome. It's a great way to find value, to gain an edge over the sports books that normally have the edge over you, which is an unfortunate reality of sports betting, is that sportsbooks charge a vig, they charge a juice, they have an inherent edge on the market every time they have a play posted. But if you can use a tool like OddsJam, you can gain the edge back over them. And the way that works is by this no vig odds column that you see here. So I'll use the first example, which is Trevor Lawrence under 20.5 passing completions, to kind of show you what I'm talking about. The play is at plus 105 at PointsBet. Now, the max they normally let me win is about 50. So I will try and get 47.62 on it. We'll see if they accept it. Normally they have me limited to the max profit they will allow is $50. We will see if they accept it. But regardless, for those of you at home, this should be, wow, they won't even let me get that. For those of you at home, this should be roughly a half of a unit play. So whatever half a unit is for you is what you should put on this. For me, I can only get 14.28. In unfortunate reality, also of sports betting, they have me limited. But regardless, so the way this all works, I mentioned the no vig odds, this column here. So OddsJam backtested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities. They collected all this data, basically trying to determine what sportsbooks are the best at pricing odds, which one of them do the best jobs. So they have all that data, they collected it. And then what they did was they identified all those sharp books, and then they removed the vig of all of them using a weighted average, obviously giving heavier weight towards the sharper books. So, for example, if DraftKings was really good at player props and Fox Bet was really good at NBA player props, they would be weighted differently. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's the case. I'm just using that as an example. So, whenever you are able to beat the no vig odds, that is how you can be profitable in the long run. So all those sharp sports books are basically telling you this market should truly be priced at minus 101. This is what the true line should be. This Facebook stock should be priced at $300 a share according to the New York Stock Exchange. But at some random market, some random exchange, you can get Facebook at $280. That would be a good stock to buy. You're inherently making that $20 per share difference. It's the same thing with sports betting. The smartest sportsbooks in the world are telling you that they think this should be priced at minus 101, so it should hit more than 50% of the time. PointsBet is giving it to us at plus 105. So this is the first bet, Trevor Lawrence under 20.5 passing completions. Another thing that I like to do before placing a bet is if you just click into a play like I did here, it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing odds for this play. So plus 105 is what PointsBet is giving us. And let's look across the betting landscape. BetMGM, minus 120. FanDuel, not so great at minus 102. But then DraftKings, minus 120. BetOnline, minus 110. FoxBet, not so great at minus 105. And then Pinnacle, minus 119. So generally for player props, the 3 sharp books that I like to look for and to like kind of view it as the true line is Pinnacle, which is number 1, which is the sharpest. And then BetOnline is another sharp sports book. And DraftKings actually does a great job with player props. That part is actually true. So the fact that Pinnacle and DraftKings favor this under, they think it's more likely, tells me that this plus 105 is a valuable bet. BetOnline doesn't quite favor the under, but they still have it priced at minus 110. Still closer to both DraftKings and Pinnacle. So not too much of a difference there. This plus 105 is the only book that is giving you plus money or above. That's a good bet. So first up, Trevor Lawrence under 20.5 completions. He's gone over this, I will say, in the majority of the games, but the Broncos also have one of the best pass defenses in the entire NFL. It's a London game. It's going to be weird. London games are always weird. I could see the Broncos shutting down Lawrence in the Jacksonville Jaguars passing offense. So I understand this one from a handicapping perspective. Next up, we are going to lock in Drake London over 38.5 receiving yards. Now, this one I would actually like to put 3/4 of a unit on, which is $75 for me. Now, BetMGM also won't let me get the full amount. They let me get $6.61. But for those of you at home, Drake London over 38.5 receiving yards should be 3/4 of a unit. If you don't feel like doing the math, you either want to do half or a full unit. I would round up in this case to a full unit. And let's chat about this one. So the no vig line prices this at -115. BetMGM is giving it to us at -110. So the gap between those two numbers, the 5-cent gap, is where you get your positive expected value from. And I mean, look at this outlier. So you can see why I liked this one a little bit more than Trevor Lawrence. Still a good play, but the Drake London one is way better in terms of just odds themselves. Look at where literally every single sportsbook prices this. Caesars -133, DraftKings -135, BetOnline -130, Pinnacle -131. And then if you open a page in a new tab, which is another thing I like to do, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices a market at. And every sportsbook either prices it at 38.5 and heavily favors it going over, or they price it above that number at 39.5 or 40.5. So this 38.5 at -110 odds is a huge outlier compared to the rest of the betting market. So this is an awesome play. I wish I could have put the full unit on it, full 3/4 of a unit. Fortunately, BetMGM wouldn't let me. But Drake London over 38.5 receiving yards. I get that this one's scary from a football perspective because the Falcons pass like one time a game. But Drake London is clearly their best receiver. When they do pass, he gets the highest % share of targets, even over Kyle Pitts, who they just refuse to use. So hopefully he gets like 3 passes his way. He can break one for 20 yards, and we'll see. But the math itself is just making this a smash play. Next up, Cortland Sutton under 23.5 longest reception +100 at Caesars. This one I should be able to get the full amount I would like to, which is a half of a unit play. So this is going to be my third one. Cortland Sutton under 23.5 longest reception. The no vig odds price this at about -102. If you round up a little bit, +100 is what Caesars is giving you. And look at this, same thing. DraftKings and Pinnacle both favor this under. They think it's the more likely scenario. And Caesars is giving it to us at even money. So both DraftKings and Pinnacle are saying we think that the most likely scenario is that Cortland Sutton goes under this longest reception. So we are going to make it less favorable to buy. We are going to make it more expensive. Well, Caesars doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't think that. They haven't received the same money, which is why the odds are different. So they have the under as the less favorable, which makes it easier for us to buy, makes it less expensive for us to buy at +100. So this is a great price. Cortland Sutton under, longest reception under 23.5 +100 at Caesars. For football reasons, I mean, Russell Wilson doing high knees on the plane, pulled a hammy. He's been horrible all year. Cortland Sutton's kind of been hit or miss. Like, he started off the year pretty hot. Past couple weeks, he's been pretty bad. So I like this one a lot, especially, again, it's a London game. London games are weird. The Jaguars defense is better than people give it credit for. So I could see this being another gross Broncos game. I mean, I just feel bad for the London people going to this game that have to see Russell Wilson. Next up, Khalil Herbert. This is another, BetMGM one. Under 39.5 rushing yards, -115 at BetMGM. So now this one I got to pull up. Whoop, I need to go to NFL. And I'm going to go to the Bears Cowboys. And we're looking at player props. We're looking at rushing yards, Khalil Herbert under. This is another play that should be 3/4 of a unit. Should be $75. At least they let me get a little bit more on this one. They let me get $28.80. But this is another one that I really like. Herbert has been playing better recently, and he has been playing more recently, but the Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They also just traded for a run-stopping defensive lineman, so I'm not expecting the Bears to be able to get much going on offense in this game. And again, look at the other books. -137, -130, -144. No big odds have this at about -117. BetMGM, is giving this to us at -115. That's a good price. And lastly, I love fading this one. Elijah Moore under 29.5 receiving yards. This is another one on Caesars that they should let me get the full amount I would like to, which is half of a unit. So maybe Elijah Moore gets the squeaky wheel treatment. We need total receiving yards. There it is. And they pass to him more than they have been. But 2 weeks ago, Elijah Moore didn't catch a single pass. So this one has been locked in. But yeah, so he complained. He asked for a trade. The Jets said that they're not trading him. Then they benched him the next week. But then Corey Davis got hurt, so now they need him to play. Either way, that New York Jets passing offense, it leaves a lot to be desired. They actually were better with Joe Flacco at passing the ball. Now, maybe with Breece Hall hurt, they'll pass more. Maybe they'll give him more targets. But if we're just looking at what's happened over the course of the season, I'm not buying it. So I like this one. Elijah Moore under 29.5 receiving yards, half of a unit play. And that's going to be it for my 5 NFL player props. So if you're tailing these, let me know. Would love to hear it. Comment on the video with your feedback. Other than that, enjoy the NFL slate and have a good one.